Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite series on the internet, Guess the Elo. In case you have missed any of the first 80 episodes, and this is the first time you are hearing this introduction, in this series, I analyze my subscriber games live on stream, and then I try to guess their rating on chess.com. And as always, this episode is chaotic, educational, and very exciting. I hope. If you're watching this in May of 2026, I am currently, probably, on an airplane or filming a collaboration with an MLS player. Yes, the United States also plays soccer. It's not quite like the leagues abroad, but yes, we do in fact have a soccer league. And so tomorrow, tournament recaps will resume, and if you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about because you're watching this in the future, I hope civilization still exists. There is still water, electricity, and there is still chess. And with that, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark. Folks, I was just in Stockholm for one of the biggest chess events ever put on. Huge crowd, insane energy, and obviously lots of travel. And as you know, when you travel, you connect to the internet at airports, hotels, and random cafes. And those connections don't exactly play a solid defense. Which is why I'm going to remind you once again that you need to not blunder your privacy online. You know how one bad move can ruin your entire position? Well, connecting to an unprotected Wi-Fi network is basically like hanging your queen. So that's why I use Surfshark when I'm traveling. It encrypts your connection and helps keep your data safe when you're using a public network. Another thing that happens when you travel is your favorite show might no longer be available in your streaming catalog. Well, the good news is with Surfshark, you can just change your location and voila, your favorite show might return. And here's one of my favorite tricks: changing the location when you browse for airplane tickets. Sometimes these and hotel deals will improve depending on where you connect to Surfshark VPN. If you want to try it for yourself, you can get a 7-day free trial and 4 extra months with this exclusive deal. Go to surfshark.com/Gotham26 or use code Gotham26 at checkout. And the free trial is super simple. You sign up, try it out, and if you hate it, you can just cancel. No risk to you. All right. Let's get back to the games. Game 1. Gotham sub, black pieces. Brain is a little bit fried. Vocal cords, a little bit fried. G6, little modern defense. That's what we like to see. A little bit of modern defense. D4, bishop G7, and knight to C6. Knight to C6 is butt cheeks. You generally, as a beginner, should not be putting your knights in the middle if they can be attacked by pawns. Don't do that. White develops a knight, very traditional, 2 pawns, 2 knights, very good stuff. Why low energy? Do you not hear the sound of my voice? You needy troglodyte. No, just kidding. Knight to F6. So if you're not having a good time, don't complain. All right, go watch somebody else's iconic Guess the Elo series. Right, YouTube? That person should go watch somebody. Exactly. Nod. Very good. Yes, then put the timestamp in the comments and be like, that was really funny. Anyway. Yeah, this is exactly why you don't put knights in the middle. I already think okay, off of 4 moves, my guess, if this is a rapid game, is about 550. That's my guess. That's my guess, 550, all right? And now white just wins, pawn to G4. My guess is below 500 probably, all right? D5, there's going to be no en passant. Yeah, white is playing very principled. Okay, of course, we can take the knight, so we take it. No castling. Does white even know they can castle? Okay, so the answer to that question is yes, at just about the worst possible moment, because we just blundered the bishop. So we brought both bishops out, but nobody taught us how to protect our bishops. Now, with black, you should probably castle. The best move, of course, is to pin the knight to the king. I gotta rotate the light onto me, because, like, what the heck? Bishop to H6? Oh my, that is a catastrophic move. That blunders a pawn and a knight. Guys, in How to Win at Chess Next Level, which is my next book, at the time of recording, it's available for pre-order. It will be out on October 6, 2026. There is a chapter on tactics. And the basic form of tactics that I tell you to improve at chess, you have to get about 90% of the time, are 1-move tactics. That's the first type of tactic, 1-move tactic. You have to be able to spot 1-movers. This is bad. Now, do we see that we can take the knight? Okay, now do we see that we can take the knight? We can no longer take the knight. pawn to c5 is... So, the incredible thing about being a 500 level player is that after playing a bunch of garbage moves, the literal top move of the engine is pawn to c5. I cannot believe that black played that move. That is a miracle. That is a miracle. What you should do is go here and here and here and go for a mate. Yeah. Yeah, and yet c5 is played, which is exceptional. That's yeah, that's mind-blowing. Okay, pawn trade. Why is it such a good move? The queen is on a very active square. White loses a center pawn. Rook b8. Double up. Attack the knight. Threaten to take it. Rook b8. Okay, so, folks, you gotta make the easy move. Now, I get why this move was played, because you probably think you're gonna attack with this rook. I get it. Now, the immediate threat is queen takes knight, because it's not just about this. The knight is now being targeted, because the pawn is pinned. Age-old beginner move, which is attack a piece and don't think where it's gonna move. White doesn't see that. All right? White doesn't see that move, and neither does black. Wow. The move b4 is extremely bad. It's very, very, very bad. Because it attacks nothing. You cannot take the queen because it's pinned, and you lose the knight. Oh, I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. The person submitted this game because they obviously sacrificed the ASMR. The rook sacrifice. You get a knight, and you get another knight, and then you play rook b8, and then knight takes f4, takes, rook d2, queen a1 mate. No way, right? No way, right? No way, right? No way, right? No way. Ah. No way, right indeed. No way, right indeed. No way. Yeah, the microphone has a weird gate on it. All right, no way. No way. Misclick? Brother, no misclick. Oh my god. That is mate. Because you're pinned. Nothing can take. When you have a mate in 1, you gotta look for mate in 2. You gotta look for mate in 2. And black wins. That was a good game. I mean, that game was terrible, but it was a good game. It was a pretty good game. I mean, it was horrendous, but it was pretty good. Like, honestly, in this position, the move pawn to c5 can very easily be in an instructive book, like How to Win at Chess Next Level, available. No, I'm just kidding. But if you are watching this and you are in the UK or Europe, Waterstones is offering 1,000 signed pre-orders. So that is live now, because shipping was crazy from the other place that we were offering. Okay, I'm going to stick to my early guess. I do not think that they are much higher than 600. Now, if they're higher than 600 and in the beginning they're playing like this, I mean, this is just nonsense. There is no chance they're 600-700. So, yeah, my guess from the opening play is like 510. 490 to 510. They are not going to be 1,000. If they're 1,000, it's probably like Blitz or Bullet. Now, we are going to toggle screens. This is me. I did not play. That's the stream. And boom. Wow. I said 490 to 510, and black is 499. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you watch Guess the Elo. This is not a scripted series. This is just me being absolutely and undoubtedly goated at this game. Absolutely and I gave you a 20-point range. And I got it dead on. I got it dead on. Now, White did play bad. White actually is 457, but our subscriber is a beast. Very, very impressive. And you, yeah, you got it at the end. You got that. That was really nice. That was good. Very well played. Very, very well played. Next game. We're off to a good start. It's going to be a good episode. It's going to be a solid episode. Going to be a very nice episode. Going to be a good episode. Hey, I got a comment recently that said, you know, you used to be more inspired and energetic when you did Guess the Elo. And you've changed and this and that. And it's like, okay, first of all, I'm recording this episode like with my neck swollen. My vocal cords are cooked. I had a flu. Then I had a cough for like 4 weeks. And my recent symptom is terrible post-nasal drip. Not that you asked, but you're watching the video, and now you can't click away because my voice is captivating, and this story is just riveting, you know? And I'm clapped. I don't know what's going on. It's a mix of seasonal allergies and this flu that just railed me. So anyway. Absolutely railed me. I gotta watch the old episodes to get inspired. I gotta watch the old episodes to get inspired. All right, here we go. So, game number 2. Vienna. This is not what I recommend. Do not play f4. Bishop c4 you have to play. What are you doing? What is this? What do you play the King's Gambit? What are you, a King's Gambit person? Okay, fine, aggressive. Fine. Everything is fine. This is fine. This is fine. A3, take. Fine. Now you get your bishop out, get the queen, castle, or long, rook on e1, rook on d1, boys going together, e5. Everything is looking very, very chill. What the hell is, why? Count, why? Knight, queen, defend, pawn, bishop, queen. Come on, man. Yeah, now white is just winning. Like, what? Why did we put the bishop back? Okay, so at what level do you play a check because it is possible, even if it's not the best move? Although, to be honest, the engine thinks that retreating is worse than playing my moves. Sometimes you guys play better moves than me. But I don't think that white is that high rated here. I think white is just like seeing a check. But white does play this King's Gambit, so... All right. Let's keep going. Check. Now we have to trade a bunch of pieces. Exactly. You gave 2 checks just because you could, and now you have to trade a bunch of pieces. Oh my god, and you hung the bishop. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Off of this, I had a feeling white was like 850, 900. Off of this sequence. Because to check and then to leave these pieces and blunder the bishop, now white, of course, takes back. So neither player saw that the bishop is just free. Because the queen can't take. You're pinned. Both players missed this, which means low 1,900. That's what I'm thinking. That's my guess off of this little sequence. Of course, you kind of have to play the Vienna, but I actually think you messed the Vienna up. I don't think you're playing a King's Gambit. I don't think so. And now what do we got? All right, bishop e5. Just giving you the pawn completely. But the crazy... Hold up. The top engine move is long castle. Are people cheating out here, or are they just terrible? Or what is this? Like, are you guys like cheating for 4 moves at a game? Like, what is? How are you lucky? It must be luck. There's no other explanation. The best move for white is also the long castle, but I think they were just copycatting. Okay, now you hung the knight. Never mind, you're not cheating. Okay, and now you take the other knight. Yeah, you're not cheating. You are not. You are most certainly. I cannot believe I even for a second said that you were cheating. Wow. That is bad. Wow. Okay, and now you hung the knight. Brother, make a queen, you psycho. Okay, check. Taking pawns, and mate. White wins. Almost stalemate, 22-point advantage. Never, ever push a pawn in a position like this, you absolute crazy people. You psychos. You deviants. I mean, give the checks. Like, why are you pushing pawns? Why? I actually think h4 is not a low-rated move. I think white is BMing. I think white is playing with bad manners. From what I'm observing in this game, white tries an opening like a king's gambit. Black just hangs a pawn. White blunders a bishop. Neither one of them see it. Then they play a couple of logical moves. Okay. Then there's a blunder of basically every piece. And what level do you have to be to convert the game like this? Like, what are are we low level here? Is this a low level game? Because I actually am not so sure all of a sudden. I'm having some doubts. But this move is really terrible. Giving up a pawn like this? Yeah, I'm going 780 on this one. 780 to 820. 40-point gap. Because there is no way a 4-digit player played this move and then hung the bishop and then hung literally every piece. I refuse to believe it. They can't be higher rated than the last guys? You really think so? You think white was just trying to play a Vienna and then, I mean, that would be insane, actually. You think all of this was just a blunder? You think every move here was just a mistake? Wow, you know... Huh. Now that I click through it again, I'm still gonna say 700. That's my guess. I'm going lower, but I'm still saying 700. I don't want to, I don't want to be swayed. I click through the game one more time. Survey says 599. 599. Actually, 591. Wow. Yeah. You know, you made a point. I actually put a lot of respect on the opening, but I probably shouldn't have. Probably shouldn't have. I mean, they played pretty freaking normal. They played pretty freaking normal. When I look back at it, but then it was a disaster. Then I didn't know. Wow. I gotta tell you, playing like that at 591, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I love how you absolute bozos in the chat are posting games like I'm gonna click on them. This dude just posted his game URL straight up like 7 times. Like, do you guys not see that you are being completely and utterly ignored? Like, everybody's looking at the game on the screen and guessing and having, and you guys are just Control-C, Control-V, just nonstop. I don't even know if those URLs make it on YouTube. Do they make it here? Can you see them? Probably not. Incredible stuff. Just really wild stuff. I mean, really, the dedication is honorable. You didn't even notice? I gotta tell you. I mean, it's like if in YouTube they were pasting stuff in the comments and trying to get it. They're still going. Bro just did it 3 more times. YouTube, you are missing out. This is good stuff. This dude ignored everything I said and pasted the URL 3 times in a row in the same message. Wow. All right, we're gonna keep going. That was a good game. That was a solid game. You did very well. I'm very proud of you. Now the rest of the morons are gonna keep doing it. All right. All right. Here we go. Gotham sub black pieces. Cecil. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is not a thing. This is not a real opening. Now, some grandmasters have played like this. The idea is to play c3 and bishop c2 and d4. Now, we're going to find out very fast, if this person knows what they're doing. We're about to find out real fast, okay? Knight f6, g6, bishop g... Wow. Wow. Maybe white does know what they're doing. The idea is to trade the bishop for the knight. Okay, that's not the idea. You need to go e5 and take and go here. Yeah, now black's position is just good. It's going to be another game where I give too much credit to the opening, and then, although this is very decent. Now look, here with black, I completely ignore this, and I just go for my queen side. I would try to play where I have more space. But the position's very, very fluid. You can do whatever you want. Except that. What is that move? Why? And what was the plan? It was just go back. Obviously, that was the plan. That was the plan. Is this going to be posted on YouTube? No. As always, I am not going to be posting these episodes on YouTube. These are Twitch only. We will not be posting this on YouTube. No. No. Okay, so don't even ask. You guys can stop asking. Why not? Because I don't want to. Very powerful move. Queen to g5, accomplishing... I don't know what. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. I would just attack the queen. Black is as good as me. I would attack the queen again. Okay, so this sequence of moves is the top line of the engine. If and only if you then play knight to f4. Okay, this is much more logical. So black can obviously think. Black is like, I want to go here, but then I want to stop that. What level do you need to be to make a plan like this? I want to play knight h5, but then I want to put the bishop back here. Gotta be like 1400 maybe? Maybe like 1500? That's a decent move. Knight h5 is still played. Now g4 is played. Wow. e5 establishing a blockade of the queen and maybe f5 and knight f4 ideas. This is a decent game, guys. This is like 1700 maybe. I mean, again, maybe I'm overdoing it, but I think this is a very decent game. Never mind. Queen f6 is horrendous. Okay, I was going to say 1700, but a 1700 never plays this move because knight to d5 happens. No. It's probably like 1300. But, okay, g3. Wow, spotted. Wow. Look at the white queen. That's like the worst queen of all time. How do you win? That's a good move. Okay, bring the other rook. No. This move tells me a lot. Not bringing the other rook tells me a lot. I mean, that's that. And just like walking into a fork for no reason at all. Oh my God, you got the... Oh my God. I mean, this queen is just miserable. e4. Yeah, e3. Uh-oh. You're still winning. Rook on the open file. So, what level do you have? I mean, h5 is a god-awful move. Just horrible. Just horrible. Like, I mean, h5 does nothing. What is h5? What does that do? God, come on. Rook d8. Knight f2. Something. Oh boy. Oh boy. If knight takes, pawn takes, rook, black queens. Okay, take the knight. What are you doing? Why is the rook going here? Why did you hang a knight? What on earth? Okay, you're probably still winning. There's no way you can stop all these pawns. Bro, how did you allow them to... Draw? Oh my God, you hung the pawn. What is the matter with you? You might still lose. Wow. Wow. Black is stuck. Black is stuck and can't move. Draw. Draw. It's gonna be a draw. It's gonna be a draw. What happened? That's the end of the game? Okay. Strange Sicilian. Didn't quite understand how to play the Sicilian, but smart enough to make a plan with a bishop. Then followed up the plan horrendously with queen f6. Then trapped the queen in the corner, but played rook e8. Logical, but not logical. Very strange game. Logical moves for the most part. Then absolutely catastrophic conversion. So, here's the thing. I think that black is probably around 1280. 1280, like 1300 level. But I think the game ended with a time trouble. I think you got low on time at the end, whoever was black, and then played very, very poorly. Actually, 1300, can a 1300 even come up that a bishop can go backwards? I'm being completely serious. Can a 1300 actually come up with this move? You guys are lying to yourselves. You would never find you would never play bishop d7. You're lying. I bet if I went through your games, less than 1 or 2% of your moves are bishop backwards moves. You're lying to yourself. I like the confidence, but I'm going to say like 1350. 1350 is my guess, and time trouble at the end. Survey says. You ready? $1,419. A little higher than my guess, but not too bad. A little lower than my guess, but not too bad. Could have been worse. 1350. Little 70-point difference. We take those. We take those. Person in the chat said they're a little higher than 1300, but, you know. That was a solid guess. All right, we got 2 more games. We are flowing today. We are in a good state right now. 1400. Yeah, this felt like it. Hey, by the way, I said, can a person 1300 come up with bishop d7? You guys said yes. No. This person overperformed. Can I check the endgame for the conversion at the end? Yeah, black had no time. That's what happened. Black had no time. I just checked it. Yeah, that's what happened. This Guess the Elo feature, of course it features 2,000 plus games. What do you think? My subscribers are brain dead. Come on. Yes. Mm-hmm. 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 The Goring Gambit. Nice. Uh-huh. Solid. Oh my god. What is b4? You gotta play e5, get this knight out of the middle, and launch an attack. e5, you already have Greek gift. You straight up already have Greek gift. Knight g5, queen h5, queen d3. Everything wins. Passant. Got like 97 different mates here. It's, yeah, it's bad. Real bad. Bad position. b4, though. Okay, b4, fine. I mean, it's a move, unfortunately. And now knight bd2, but what? Black and anybody, you need equity in the center of the board. You have to have, all right? You have to have equity in the center. What on earth? Like, knight h5, you people are nuts. Black wants to go here. White can play knight c4, open up the bishop. There's no... Wow, white plays knight c4. This is bad. This is very bad. Oh my god. So the only reason that black went for this, I just realized, black had no intention to play knight f4. Black was like, yo, me bishop pin pawn to king. Me move knight here because me attack rook, and me knight can't be taken because of me pin. Now, this plan is absolute ass cheeks because you can take the bishop and then take the rook. So you take the bishop, the knight takes the rook, you take a rook, you are up the bishop, and this knight can't even escape. And on top of that, if you go here, you still win. Because you just, the knight goes back and you have a +4 advantage. Obviously, it would be better to have material. Symbolic +4 is BS. Just because the engine says you're +4 doesn't mean anything. Okay, queen c2. Okay, please, for the love of God, at least play here. No, we're not playing that. That's fine. That's fine. Please play it now. So, I'm just going to give you a little lesson here. If you find yourself in the middle of a chess game, you know, basically doing the equivalent of shuffling across the floor of your bathroom after taking a shower, and there's nothing to put your feet on, so your feet are on the floor, and you're just walking very slowly because you don't want to get water all over the floor. If you see yourself doing this with your pieces, yeah, it's probably not going to work out. It's too slow. Like, it's just not going to work out. There's not even any threat. Now what? Oh, now we do this. Tremendous. Okay, and now what's the big idea? Yes, that's a good move. It has no threat, but it's a move. Miraculously, black plays the top move of the engine, by the way. The top move of the engine is to move the knight into the middle and target the bishop. And the top computer move was to attack. Did they cheat for these 3 moves? Top engine move, top engine sequence, never mind. I'm like amazed. I'm amazed that you guys play like this. This is really something. Wow, e5. Striking the center, activating the rook. Okay, b5. This is a tough game. This is a tough game to judge. Bishop e6, okay. I would try to put my queen right there. That is not going to be the same thing. That's not going to work. Why is this +4? Ah, because you want to take on g7. Well, now there's knight f5. Yeah. Oh, he did the thing. He sacrificed the rook. He did the thing. That's why you guys submit games, because any game you submit a rook sacrifice you think is worthy of Guess the Elo, and I don't pick your games when I see the moves. I can't see that far into the future, but you still select the game because you know how you sacrifice the rook, and it's going to be really exciting that I cover it. Okay, fantastic. Now what? There is absolutely no chance in a million years that you played bishop to f8, sacrificing material, and then getting the queen to h7. And what's furthermore is that after bishop f8, if either of these pieces were to take, it would be queen h7 mate. But if bishop f8, the king can take, and if queen h7, there's queen g5 and you escape. But bishop f8, king f8, queen h6 forces the king to g8, queen h7, king f8, queen h8 mate. If the game ends with bishop f8, king f8, queen h6, king g8, queen h7, king f8, queen h8 mate, I will absolutely lose my mind. Ah. Well, that actually is the best move. It is the best move for black to sack the queen and win all these pieces. That's actually very impressive. You sack material, then you take the knight, then you take the bishop. Honestly, not bad. And how did we convert this game? Oh, easily. They just lost their rook in one move, and then we didn't take the bishop, and then we took, and then we sacked the, oh my god. And then we converted this, and then, and, and then we did, okay, they've resigned. Wow. To come up with, like, how on earth do I judge this freaking game? You play a gambit. This plan by black is terrible. This plan by black is so bad. So bad. Like, no understanding. But also, Honestly, my wife is rated around 1,000 rapid, and if she played b4 knight d2, I'd be like, what are you doing? Like the automatic move here, if you don't know what to do, is to pin the knight and then get the other knight out. Like b4, and then there was a lot of nothing moves. There was a lot of normal moves. Like sack the rook and bishop f8? Can that really be played by somebody who's like 1100? I actually think... No, this is not findable if you're 1100. You can't... No. No. But this plan by Black was so bad. Maybe Black just played very poorly. But I'm gonna say just from the opening and then the weird middle game play. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is it a 1500 that played very bad and then locked in, or is it a 1000 that played a crazy tactic? I'm gonna guess it's one or the other. I'm gonna guess two guesses. I'm gonna tell you my guess. My guess is 1190. But if it's not 1190, my guess is like 1530. That's my guess. It's either 1190 or 1530, and it's not anything in the middle. Ready? $945? Is this the same game? This is the same game. That is one of the most impressive things that I have ever seen. That is mind-blowing. You really found this by yourself? You didn't have like an older sibling? That is bananas. I mean, I don't even... It ended as a draw. What? Oh my god, the game is a draw. Well, that is one of the most devastating plot twists in Guess the Elo history. I'm gonna do one more game. That might be the strongest combo any 900 rated player ever played. Straight up ever. Like in the history of this series. Or ever. Why was that a draw? Black does not have sufficient checkmating material. That's what that's called. All right. And the... So this is a gambit. This is the Tennyson gambit. Tennyson gambit is d3 takes bishop d3. Are we gonna get that or what? Wow, that's horrible. That is Queen h5 threatens nothing and pins your knight to your queen so that now Black can just play h6 and win it. Now, you might be able to trick your way out of it, but okay. Knight f6. That's a good move. The engine didn't like it. Queen f7. Oh, the knight is hanging. Check. All right. Knight blocks. Good move. The only move here is king d8, but you're never playing king d8. You are never, ever going here. You got to develop a knight or something. Black goes here. That is absurd to run the king into the middle of the board. Hangs the pawn. That's not even the best move. The best move was d4 with a discovered attack on the queen. That's not going to happen. That's mate. Guess the elo is going to end with mate in 2. I think white goes here. Oh, mate. Okay, so that did not happen. White went for the pawn mate. Queen c4 check. Passant. Passant. We know about passant. King takes. Check. No. No check. Bishop a6 attacking the queen. It's mate in 2 again. Knight d5 check. You probably... Stop putting the knight on the edge of the board. King b7, knight c5 check. Take the bishop. Take the bishop takes knight. Bishop takes knight. Bishop takes knight. Bishop takes knight. Bishop takes... Ёб твою мать. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my... Oh. How is that? Wow. There's gonna be a mate. Rook c1, rook d6. Now, how are you gonna, how are you gonna move? How are you gonna, what about the other rook, dude? What about? Oh, I cannot take another plot twist. I cannot take another. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. It's over. Wow. 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 I don't even want to guess a rating. So I did you actually play the Tennyson Gambit trying to go for the intercontinental ballistic missile? That is a real opening. Look that up. Or do you just not know how to play chess? You went for Scholar's Mate. The person blundered this. You hung the knight that you... I mean, what level of chess do you have to be to play G3? Probably like 600, right? Less than 600 and less. The game was so random. And then, what level do you have to be to remember Passant? Probably like 500-600. Because there's no way you remember this. There's no way if you're like below 500. And then to hang this, off of just that information alone, I'm going with 490. 490 is my guess. If this is rapid. I mean, how on earth can you not play pawn to c6 if you're rated? There's no way. It does feel like blitz. So rapid, I would say 490. Blitz, 800. It could be up to 800. And the last guess of the episode... 1,055. So we just went from the best 900 game ever to probably the worst 1,000 game ever. I am so disappointed